In this video, we're gonna hit the Chadwick ATV Trail system in the Ozarks of Missouri. Coming up. Welcome to the Chadwick ATV Trail review video. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this pulled up real quick, and while I do that, if you are just discovering Midwest ATV for the first time, really it's all centered about helping you explore the unpaved with trail reviews, gear reviews, and just overall ATV entertainment. So if riding off-roads is one of your hobbies, think about smashing that subscribe button. You know, now that I'm out here by the lake at the cabin here, I didn't realize how bright it was. I'm gonna go ahead and throw some sunglasses on because it's way brighter out than I expected. All right, so right here is the Camp Ridge Trailhead, which is actually super ironic because this is not a campground at all. And while there is a campground at this trail, it's not here. So don't get confused by that if you show up looking for it. So unfortunately, I did screw this part up and I forgot to get a good shot of the layout for you. But it's basically an open lot with a vault toilet. As we take off here, you can see as we button hook, if you were to look to the right, that's really the trail entrance that I came in on. Now, it's hard to tell as we get going here, but there are multiple entrances to the trail along the way. Also, we'll end up talking about it shortly, but there are additional dirt bike trails that spawn off in many different directions that you're really not gonna fit your ATV down. But what we're gonna do is go ahead and head down to what I'm gonna call the main trail entrance and then end up off this road. Okay, so as we go towards one of the main trailheads here, there really is one thing I wanted to make sure and mention, and that is that this video will jump around a bit. So it doesn't really follow the trail from start to finish, and that's because I wanted to be able to provide different sections of the trail to you without making this video hours long, right? My hope in doing this is that it will give you a better representation of the trail in its entirety. So leave a comment down below and let me know if you like that or if you feel like it just jumps around too much, because I'm really trying to make this as useful for you as possible without wasting your time. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the basics. I'm gonna come out with it, guys. I'm gonna be blunt. I'm scared to say it, but UTVs are prohibited from riding on these trails. I know that's super disappointing, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that are just gonna close it right now because that's what they ride. Totally understand. It's unfortunate. That's just the way it is, and there's really nothing we can do about it. Additionally, and I say additionally because the rules specifically call out UTVs and then go on to say motorized vehicles more than 50 inches. So if you have like a trail razor, right, it's actually just about 50 inches, but it specifically calls out UTVs and then goes on to also mention, in addition, vehicles over 50 inches wide. So you're pretty much screwed on both fronts, even with a Class 1 razor. So we'll go ahead and have a moment of silence for the UTV riders, and then we're gonna move on. All right, so that pretty much leaves us with ATVs and of course dirt bikes. These trails are located on about 12 square miles in the Mark Twain National Forest. And while that doesn't sound like much, the way the trails are designed actually allows for almost 80 miles of trails. In fact, you can easily ride these for hours without ever having to double back on a single trail. I'm gonna pull up a map here so that we can take a look and you can understand what I'm saying. This does lead me to a good point, by the way. As I pull this map up, I should mention, I put a link to the map on MidwestATVTrails.com. Shameless plug, right? However, they broke it up into a 4-page PDF, so it's not convenient at all for folding up and putting in your pocket. But what you're looking at right here is actually a trail map that I found at the campground located on this trail system, and we'll talk about that campground shortly. So as you can see here, it's only about 12 square miles, like I mentioned, but there are so many loops that you can just go loop to loop to loop and hit all these without having to double back at all. And while I've got this up, a couple things I do want to point out as well. So where we just started, that was the Camp Ridge Trailhead, right? Now we're going to talk about the Cobb Ridge Campground shortly, as well as the Casey Day Use area here. And then you can see here's a family play area, and then there's another dirt bike area up here. So those are just kind of the main points of interest, if you will. And then again, as you can see, there's just loops all over this place. I never hit the same trail twice. I came back on a different trail than I even started at. So I mean, literally right up until the trailhead, I was never on the same trail. Okay, so let's go ahead and get back to the video here. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by the birds. As you can see from the video, it's snow, right? And you look behind me and the lake's almost thawed out. It's gorgeous outside, it's like 50 degrees. Total weather change since this video was actually shot, which was recently, by the way. It hasn't been that long, it's just the weather did like a total 180 on us. All right, anyway, I digress. I apologize. We'll get back at it. So as you can see, a large portion of this trail is in the woods, riding between narrow trees, which makes it a lot of fun, right? So as you can see too, when we hit this spot here, you'll actually notice I'm kind of sliding sideways, and that's because it's pure ice. There were a lot of spots where I realized I was riding along the ice. And I imagine that in the summertime, this is a pretty nice water hole, and there are definitely some other ones along the way as well. So as we keep going down the trailhead here, we're gonna roll past these Jeeps, and here you'll notice we're coming into a parking and picnic area. This is the KC Pavilion Trailhead that we talked about on the map. Now this not only provides plenty of room to park, but it's also got shaded picnic areas and vaulted toilets. It's definitely a nice area. Even if you didn't park here, you can relax under the shade of the picnic area and just enjoy some lunch, grab a drink, whatever you want to do. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and actually rewind past these Jeeps again down this road, because right over here is the Cobb Ridge camping area. Now, as we enter the campground, you can see there are sites for both RVs and camping. RV sites also have electric hookups, which are great options. Definitely a big plus. I know a lot of people like to bring their RVs. You'll also notice as we head down the main campground road here, there are full bathrooms on site. I went ahead and put a link on our website, shameless plug again, so you can get additional information on the campground as well as reservations. And by the way, on our website, as you saw in the video, that's kind of where we started from. You can hit the trailhead information right there and get it to pull up right on Google Maps for you, so you're not trying to find the trailheads all day. There's plenty of information on there, so definitely check that out. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and exit the campground and continue down a different trail. Now, personally, this was honestly my favorite spot of the ride that day. As you can see, the trail is narrow and really winds along some ridges as well as up and down hills. I found this whole area not only just gorgeous, but outright fun. Even though it was not overly technical by any means, it was just a great ride. I mean, I never really got bored, and a lot of times if trails aren't technical or I can't go real fast, you know, I just kind of get bored sometimes. So I never once got bored while riding on this area of the trail. The trail is not only narrow, but seems to keep you riding in and out of trees. And if you are able to get a little extra speed safely and legally, of course, it can really add to the excitement of this area. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and start heading back to the trailhead. I hope this video provided you the information you were looking for. If not, please leave a comment down below and let me know why not and what else you would have liked to see in this video to help you determine more about the trail and if it's a trail you wanna visit. Otherwise, do me a favor and smash that thumbs up button if you like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. That's all I got. I hope this video was helpful. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you on the trail.